This is Hardy Brute, and today we'll be playing Tower Dominion, a game with a lot of RNG and a lot of meta progression. Let's get it started. There are 3 main locations, multiple difficulties, and each location has different effects on the field, as do the heroes themselves. At the middle section, you get the hero, and you get double the blueprints, so you get double the towers. You can see there's 25 waves total, and after each wave or so, you get a, to extend the territory, extend the path. He reveals threats 2 waves early, and you get a discounted armor building, which usually costs 1,500. Everybody starts with some bunkers, some of those towers, the Miradors. And as you can see, height also affects their range. But after each round, you get to pick another building, another tower, but it's usually a combination, and it's usually completely random. Most maps send out the infantry, but this map is unique that you get to send out your hero unit, which is a big old tank, so I'm all for that. And this is the RNG section. So you get upgrades for certain types of buildings, you can get just resources, you can get just certain types of buildings. Things that just affect your headquarters, that just affect your units. And it's completely random. Plus 50% damage, rate of fire, the range is up. You can detect units, but it also adds a second gunman. So effectively doubling your damage, I would assume. Rate of fire, and more damage for each bunker you have next to one another. There's also a lot of buildings that interact with each other. Support buildings, as you were. So that middle one, that's an anti-air turret. This one's more of an area effect. Not quite sure what the difference between the Dunderdale and the Werewolf is. I think the Werewolf is just a cheaper version of it, because they both do area damage, I believe. Let's get the anti-air. Anti-air doesn't follow the path, it takes the shortest path to your headquarters. So it can fly over a lot of your buildings. Yeah, as you can see, those flyers just took a beeline straight for the headquarters. Bypassing the hero too. So supplies is always good. Plus 10 recon isn't terrible. None of these are that great though. I have only one werewolf. But some of them get damage upgrades, some of them get range upgrades. Some of them will help you produce resources. It's completely random. Ooh, triple supplies. Mortars, and the platform lets you build the give you the range advantage or give you a flat area to build off of. And one thing I've noticed is a lot of the buildings have multiple unlocks, but some of them are hidden behind meta progression, or you have to use the building a certain number of times or get a certain number of kills with it. You also don't really get a lot of stats for the turrets, so it's kind of hard to compare besides the cost and the range and just watching it. Like the tanks themselves have area effect, so that helps a bunch. Certain buildings are cheaper, and the Mirador is a good unit to have extras of. It's cheap, and the upgrades are cheap, and it's pretty effective for air and ground. And they show you the next threats, they show you the next units, but they don't really tell you a whole lot other than sometimes they have special abilities or shields or they fly. Get the anti-air going. 50% damage against air. You can go even harder into air, that makes the most sense. Plus 1 range, even more damage. But they start costing other resources. Sometimes they use the little computer chip for technology upgrades, or they use the recon upgrades. Gain 400 supplies. Mortars. Yeah, 400 supplies sounds pretty good. Scout building just costs recon, but I'm not gaining any per round, so. But eventually, maybe I could. It's all RNG, you don't know what you're gonna get. I would really like to save up for that tank building. I've also had the most success just building a really, really long path. Because even if there's flyers, then it's just gonna fly, take that much longer to get to your building. Anti-air, even more anti-air, yeah. That is my anti-air unit. And you can upgrade your headquarters to have guns or do other things. But right now it's kind of defenseless, it just sends out units. 10% rate of fire, but I'm not really using that building. But the 200 supplies is nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna save up. I really need multiple tanks so I can just block them in the path. Anti-air and mortars. Ooh, supplies and mortars. $300 away from the tanks. Also, wherever the end of that building is, the pathway, that's where they'll spawn from. So if it's a flying unit, and you put the right exit closer to your building than the rest of the path, then flying units can just come and wreck you. There's also these neutral buildings. When you build next to them, you get free stuff. This one increased my supplies per round to 140. Wow. This one gives you more range and detection. I've bought detection a few times, but I really don't know what units are invisible, or if it's just a later thing in the game you have to deal with. I really don't know. I just need a couple rounds to save up some resources. Get the tank factory, get my anti-air going, and then I should be pretty good. And none of these are very good. The discovery, I guess. Mimics are coming. Mimic kiosks. See, like, this one's a pretty bad building, but it's so far away it doesn't really matter. But you can re-roll that for a single lane building, single lane plot or something like that. Even 2 lanes is probably better than the 3-way. So these guys have shield, but once again, they don't really tell you any stats on anything. Double light mortars. Cost of the anti-air is down. I like that. Ooh, I can finally buy my my tank factory. This is a big L-shaped building, so I like to put it next to the headquarters. And now we should have 2 tanks every single time. And it makes a tank every 10 seconds. Double supplies? That sounds really good. We can finally buy those anti-air towers I've been saving up and upgrade them. Well, get closer to it. I don't quite understand the purpose of making the anti-air into general purposes. Usually there's just one path that's really good. And the other paths are okay. But the tanks are doing a really good job blocking the path and taking damage. And almost everything attacks the air, unless specifically stated. Air's just really strong. It goes really fast. And bypassing everything is horrible. Also, don't think you can build on paths where the roads lead to a dead end. I think it stops you from clicking it. So we're like halfway done with this level. Anti-air got destroyed. The shield guys getting a little close. Get another platform, more supplies. These mortars are really cheap. Their range is also terrible. That should be good with the grouping of the units we have over there. Still really hurting on supplies. But most of the guys they don't make it all the way. HQ has more HP. Not really using... I could get more another mortar. And at the moment, I don't really have a way to heal my HQ. So just buffing that up sounds pretty good. And that's more than we started with, 1500. So not 1624. Even this L-shaped building's really good. It's just those cross ones are pretty bad. 5 recon, HP, and more damage to my troops. Would be good for my tanks. Could give turrets to my building, yeah. At least let it defend a little bit. But they always spawn from the edges the furthest away they can. It's making the path really long and making it... With these early levels and early difficulties, it's not a huge benefit to weaving back and forth like most tower games. Get another scout, get a couple more of those, I suppose. I have 10 of them just waiting around. Hopefully I can find them discounted. Making them 10-20% cheaper would be really nice. So they divide when they die. And that building gives extra damage to air and shields, but it costs so much. All the good stuff in this game costs a lot of resources. And even the mortars, they're cheap and they look cool, but I really don't know how effective they are. Medium mortar position. So that's like just a bigger, better mortar. How big is it though? 400? Can only be built on height of 0. Keep making that path bigger. Oh, it's a big square thing. This thing is huge. If I had 2 platforms, I could build it over on the other side. It's got really big range too. And that's where most of my bottleneck is, right there with the shield guy. That's as far as they get. +2 range, +2 min range. That's pretty cool too. 90 and 130. So you can either go back there next to the other mortar or in the front. In the front, and it does more damage. So it gains rate of fire based on how many buildings are around it. Everything around it gets rate of fire. It's kind of a weird path for a mortar building to have. Yeah, let's just move on. The mortar's destroying them. They're not even getting nearly as close as they used to. The shield guys are still getting about to the bunker, but the smaller units are dying about to that fork in the road. Take away 10% to the mortars. 250 supply, but take away % damage. My anti-air is cheaper, and I get another mortar. Little mortar. And I forgot, on this map, one of the benefits is that you get double buildings. Anything you pick, you get 2 of. Which is also pretty cool. That helps you control the RNG quite a bit. You just need 1 or 2 good rolls instead of every single round get a good roll. Not a lot of flat areas for the mortar, and it also has to be on the ground floor. So it actually fits there, but that mortar's in the way. But that mortar's cheap. I think I might just get rid of it. It only cost 100. I get 80 back, that's not that bad. I've got double big mortars. The 50% damage is pretty nice, but it's not going to help the actual attack range at all. Yeah, see, that works a lot better. The tier 2 upgrade is just worthless on it, though. Even more anti-air. Sounds pretty good. Let's put it as high as we can. Ooh, double stack it. Yeah, I didn't realize the platforms cost like 50. Yeah, they got pushed off quite a bit that time. My tiny mortars are cheaper, and you get one. A heavy flamer? What is this thing? It cost $8.50. It's quite a bit. It looks really big too. But it could be awesome. More detection and more range. A shield break weapon. Okay. The one thing the game does do is when you click on buildings, it says in the top right corner, or when you hover their weapon, how much damage it's actually done. This one's only done 300, 300, 1800. My other big mortar did 2500. So it gives you some indication of how well the turret's doing, I suppose. More anti-air, even more damage. And that one costs the chips, and I don't know how to get chips. I think you just start each level with a certain amount. Oh, the shields guys are getting closer. My tanks just tank it, though. They just throw themselves at it. And I'm not sure if the tanks slow them down while they're being attacked, or if they just... that's just an independent life pool thing. So it divides into 3 units when it dies. So an air unit that's even stronger against just normal weapons. So then you really need the anti-air. I think next round too I can get the 850 flamethrower guy, see what that thing is. I am really scared of anti-air though. I had played this game a few times initially and died like the wave 3 or 4 to air. Just trying to figure out how to play it. Although I do like this secondary with the heroes, it's pretty cool. Another anti-air doesn't hurt. It's +1, but he's really far away. That's fine. See, they're just making a beeline for it. And most turrets are programmed to attack the closest unit to your headquarters. I think you can change that as well. Rate of fire of my mortars? Or some big turret thing. Missile launcher. And another bunker. 10% rate of fire to all my little mortars and supply. I think that'll be enough to get the flamethrower guy, see what he does. Power host? Ooh, that's the final one. So I'm at 21 to 25. I have most of the upgrades. I can buy a bunch of these buildings. It's not gonna hurt anything. I guess I threw the that flamethrower guy out the window, but he looks like a really big building. A sanctioned cannon. Oh, 1250. Very large targeted zone. Deals terrifying amounts of damage. That sounds pretty cool. I think we're definitely gonna get that, and then maybe skip the flamethrower again. Depending on where the area is. Well, I got a lot of supplies that turn. Like 1,000 supplies. Another tank. The tactical fortress is really cool, but it costs so much. Keep making the path even longer. So this is... It does have really... It's just in a straight line, though. Ooh, that'd be pretty cool. But can it fit anywhere? This map, or at least the map I made, sucks for it. The tanks are free every 10 seconds. It can increase their HP, but it costs 2,000. And the building itself costs 1,500 usually, but it's 1,000. It's cheaper in this level for this hero. Man, I really wanted to use that gigantic cannon thing. It just didn't fit on the map. It looked awesome, especially the attack range. Oh, that's the fun thing about playing this game for the first time is you don't know any of the turrets. Or what's going to unlock. 10% more to my my big mortars. Take away 10% cost. I didn't find anything for the recons. Oh, so the flamethrower is a 2x2. His attack range is pretty big too. He does area effect to the most HP. To take away 2 targets so he can hit multiple targets? What does that mean? So he just doesn't hit them if they're in his area of attack? He does look pretty cool. I like his flames. Shield guys are still dying in about the same positions though. My tanks are pushing them back though. Get 2 tanks every 20 seconds? Electric arc cannon? Whoa, 2,200? Get another one of those missile launchers. Oh, this is the final wave. Oh, I have to build my path. Get a missile launcher? It's another 2x2. I kinda wish I had known that before. Although you can't really choose the map, you can make platforms. This attack range is huge though. Another area effect. Can do anti-air. Or targets primary air, or just does 50% more damage normally. Plus 2 range. Shoot 10 missiles instead of 6 missiles? That's pretty cool. See, that turret reminds me of a StarCraft. The missile launcher for the anti-air. This is the final round, so I might as well spend all my money. Oh, that looks so cool. He's only firing 6 of possible 10 rockets. There's still so much air. Wow, those shield units were pushing me back too. We really needed all those tanks and all that anti-air. I unlocked a new hero. Commander has more HP and I get a Xeno? Whatever that is. Pumos do even more damage against anti-air? That's really good. Can reveal more threats? That's okay. So that was difficulty level 1, and I unlocked the second level of difficulty. After a certain point, we didn't really take damage anymore. My HQ actually did the most damage, which probably includes all the tanks and even the hero unit, I would imagine. That's probably why I did the most damage. My anti-air units did 50k. My single tiny cannon did the second most damage. Well, that was Tower Dominion. I hope you enjoyed.